Every morning, millions of older adults across America start their day the same way. Quiet kitchen, familiar mug, a warm cup of coffee in hand. It's a ritual rooted in comfort, in routine, and often in decades of habit. But what if something about that simple routine has quietly changed? What if the way we drink coffee today, especially after 70, could actually be placing a hidden burden on our health? I'm not here to take away your coffee or ask you to give up the things you love. What I want to share today is something I've come to learn after both personal trial and years of listening to others just like you. Something many doctors now agree on, but that isn't printed on a label or talked about in cafes. In this video, we'll gently walk through 6 common coffee habits that may increase cancer risk in seniors. Not to scare you, but to give you better tools to support your body as it changes. If any part of this speaks to you, I invite you to share your morning routine in the comments or just type "watching" to let me know you're here. And please stay with me until the end. The last one might surprise you most. Sometimes, what feels most familiar is also what quietly wears us down. For many older adults, especially those living alone or following a long-standing morning routine, that first cup of coffee comes before anything else. Before breakfast, before water, before even taking a moment to breathe. It's comforting. It feels like a steady anchor in a world that changes too quickly. But the truth is, drinking coffee on an empty stomach, particularly when the mind is already carrying emotional weight, can slowly create a storm inside the body that we don't see until symptoms begin to whisper louder over time. As we age, the body becomes more sensitive, not weaker, just more responsive. The stomach lining thins, digestive processes slow, and the buffer that once protected us from little imbalances becomes more delicate. When we drink coffee first thing in the morning without eating anything, the body produces more stomach acid than it needs. Without food to absorb and regulate that acid, it begins to irritate the stomach lining, sometimes leading to that burning sensation you may have brushed off as just age or just heartburn. But beneath that discomfort, over the course of months and years, something more serious can begin to unfold. Chronic irritation may lead to inflammation of the gut lining, which not only disrupts digestion, but can increase the risk of certain gastrointestinal conditions, some of which, including gastritis or even early stages of intestinal damage, have been linked to higher cancer risk in older adults. And when stress enters the picture, grief, worry, or even the silent weight of loneliness, your body adds another layer to the mix. Under stress, we produce cortisol, a hormone that, in high levels and frequent surges, reduces the body's ability to digest, heal, and defend itself. Combine this with high stomach acid and hot caffeine, and the result is a subtle but real erosion of internal balance day by day. You may not feel it right away, but fatigue, bloating, sour stomach, or lack of appetite later in the day can all be signs that your morning ritual needs a gentle adjustment. This doesn't mean giving up what you enjoy. It means letting your body settle first. Begin with a glass of warm water, even a small piece of toast or fruit, something soft, something kind. Give your body a little foundation so the coffee can lift you without hurting you. After 70, how you start your morning truly matters, and sometimes the smallest shift creates the biggest peace. And now, as we continue this quiet conversation about what hides inside our daily habits, let's turn to something that may seem small but has a much deeper impact than most people realize: the creamer we add to our coffee. It might be vanilla, hazelnut, or labeled as low-fat or non-dairy, sitting cheerfully on the kitchen counter or in the refrigerator door. It's become such a common part of morning life that we rarely question what it's actually made of. But the truth is, many of these popular creamers are filled with substances the body, especially an aging body, cannot understand or process well. Hydrogenated oils, artificial stabilizers, and chemical flavorings that may taste pleasant, but don't play kindly with your health. After age 70, your body changes in subtle but significant ways. Your metabolism slows, your heart and blood vessels become more sensitive, and your cells don't repair as quickly as they used to. When trans fats, often found in powdered or shelf-stable liquid creamers, enter your system, they don't just disappear. They stay longer, cling to arterial walls, and quietly fuel inflammation throughout the body. That inflammation doesn't always announce itself with pain. Sometimes it shows up as fatigue, brain fog, or numbers on a lab test that don't make sense. Over time, the buildup of these substances has been linked to a higher risk of cardiovascular issues, but also cellular stress that may contribute to the development of certain cancers, especially when exposure is daily and long-term. The hardest part is that these creamers are marketed as helpful. They say cholesterol-free meat plant-based or heart smart, which can sound convincing when you're trying to make better choices. But marketing doesn't always equal safety, and ingredients like partially hydrogenated oils and mono and diglycerides are red flags, particularly when heated in a hot drink like coffee. For someone in their 70s or beyond, these aren't just technical terms. They're daily decisions that may either protect your health or slowly drain it. What I've found, and what many others have learned, is that switching to simpler alternatives can make a world of difference. Real milk, oat milk, almond milk, or even a small spoonful of coconut cream, these options may feel unfamiliar at first, but your body recognizes them. They bring nourishment instead of confusion, and they don't ask your immune system to fight battles it shouldn't have to. The coffee may still taste a little sweet, a little rich, and it will definitely still feel comforting, but now it also comes with a little peace of mind. Sometimes, aging gracefully is not about doing less. It's about doing what we've always done, just a little wiser. There's something about trying to make better choices as we age that can sometimes backfire, not because we don't care, but because we've been led to believe certain options are safer than they truly are. Many older adults, especially those mindful of their weight, blood sugar, or family history of diabetes, have turned to artificial sweeteners in their coffee as a healthier alternative to sugar. Those little pink, blue or yellow packets may seem harmless, even helpful. But when it comes to senior health, especially after 70, what seems like a smarter swap can quietly cause harm in ways we rarely expect or feel right away. When artificial sweeteners such as aspartame, saccharin, or sucralose are added to hot beverages like coffee, their chemical structure may begin to change under heat. While we don't taste the difference, our bodies register it. These compounds, once processed, can interfere with the balance of healthy gut bacteria, which many now call the foundation of immune strength. In older adults whose digestive resilience and natural microbial diversity are already declining, that disruption can be more severe. The gut doesn't just digest food. It regulates inflammation, influences blood sugar, and even helps guard against certain cancers of the digestive tract. So, when we unknowingly disturb that balance each morning, we're not just altering flavor, we're affecting how the body heals, defends, and functions at its core. Even more quietly, artificial sweeteners have been found to increase cravings for real sugar. They confuse the brain by promising sweetness without delivery, triggering hunger patterns that lead to overeating or snacking later in the day. This can contribute to unintended weight gain, insulin resistance, and even chronic fatigue, all issues that many seniors attribute to just getting older, when in reality, the body is simply reacting to mixed signals. And for those with existing liver or kidney concerns, daily consumption of artificial chemicals, even in small amounts, becomes a load the body must filter slowly, imperfectly, and over time, with possible long-term effects. So, if you've been reaching for those packets out of habit or hope, it may be time to consider kinder alternatives, a light drizzle of real maple syrup, a sprinkle of cinnamon, or even learning to enjoy your coffee with a hint of milk and no sweetness at all. These aren't sacrifices, but small acts of self-respect. They offer your body a language it understands, a rhythm it remembers, and in a world full of artificial noise, returning to something real, even in the smallest cup, can make you feel a little stronger, a little more balanced, and a whole lot healthier. As we move through these quiet details of our everyday coffee habits, here's one that might seem the most innocent of all: reheating your coffee. For many seniors, especially those who live alone or enjoy sipping slowly throughout the morning, it's natural to brew a full pot, leave it on the warmer, or pop a cooled cup into the microwave later in the day. It feels practical, even comforting, to stretch one brew across a peaceful morning. But what few realize is that this routine, when repeated day after day, may be quietly asking the body to do more than it can easily manage, especially in our later years. When coffee is brewed fresh, it contains natural oils and compounds that give it its familiar aroma and taste. But the moment it's left to sit and then reheated, especially in a microwave or plastic cup, those compounds begin to break down. This process releases unstable molecules, some of which contribute to what scientists call oxidative stress. And, while that term may sound distant or scientific, what it means in daily life is much simpler. It's like a slow rusting from the inside out. Our cells, especially in older adults, become more vulnerable to damage as antioxidants decline with age. The protective systems that once neutralized harmful byproducts don't work as fast anymore, and as a result, the repeated intake of degraded coffee can gradually wear on the liver, the digestive lining, and even the body's cellular repair systems. This isn't about fear or needing to throw away your coffee pot. It's about understanding that what saves you 2 minutes today might cost your body quite an effort tomorrow. Symptoms like persistent heartburn, bloating, or that heavy feeling after drinking may not be from the coffee itself, but from how it's been treated before reaching your lips. Over time, that added stress builds up in ways that most of us don't connect to our mug. What helps instead is surprisingly simple. Brew smaller portions. Use a thermal carafe that keeps the temperature without cooking the coffee further. If you must reheat, use ceramic or glass, never plastic, and limit it to just once. These gentle shifts don't interrupt your morning, they support it, and they let your body know you're still listening, still choosing peace over pressure, even in the quiet act of sipping something warm. That kind of care may seem small, but after 70 it matters more than ever. Some habits bring comfort not because they're perfect, but because they've been with us for so long. For many older adults, the familiar pairing of a hot cup of coffee with well-toasted bread or a crispy breakfast muffin feels like a small morning joy, something we've earned after years of early mornings, hard work, and the rhythm of routine. But with time comes new knowledge, and one of the more surprising discoveries in senior wellness has been the hidden risks of acrylamide, a compound quietly produced when foods are browned or burned at high heat, especially in starches like bread or potatoes. What many don't realize is that coffee itself also contains acrylamide, formed during the roasting process of the beans. So when we combine both, coffee and overcooked foods, we may be unknowingly increasing our exposure to a substance that health experts now link to DNA damage, inflammation, and a higher risk of certain cancers, especially in the kidneys and colon. This doesn't mean you need to abandon your morning ritual or give up the pleasure of something warm and crisp. But it does mean paying attention in a way that honors your body's changing needs. As we age, our systems don't flush toxins or repair cell damage as efficiently as they once did. The liver and kidneys work more slowly. Inflammation lingers longer. And while one burnt edge or dark roast isn't dangerous by itself, it's the daily repetition over months and years that adds up, especially when combined with weaker detox pathways common after 70. Many seniors experience digestive discomfort, skin dullness or lower energy, and assume it's just aging. But sometimes the cause is something as small as what's sitting on your breakfast plate each morning. The good news is that the solution is both simple and satisfying. Use a lighter setting on your toaster. Avoid eating the charred parts of bread, muffins, or potatoes. Choose lighter roast coffee if you're sensitive, or enjoy your cup alongside a piece of fruit, yogurt, or soft grains instead. These aren't drastic changes. They're gentle shifts, acts of wisdom rather than restriction. Because healthy aging isn't about doing everything differently. It's about recognizing that your body is still trying to take care of you and giving it fewer obstacles to overcome each morning. In a life full of adjustments, this one might be the easiest to make and the kindest. As we reach this final habit, it's worth pausing to reflect on how far health advice has come. Many older adults today are more informed, more curious, and more open to new ideas than ever before. We hear about wellness trends from the internet, our adult children, and even from friendly conversation at the senior center or during a doctor's visit. One trend that's become especially popular is adding protein or collagen powders to morning coffee. It sounds smart. Boost your joints, support your muscles, maybe even improve your skin. But what often goes unspoken is how these powders behave in the body when consumed the wrong way, especially on an empty stomach, and especially when mixed into hot liquids like coffee. After the age of 70, the digestive system is no longer as resilient as it once was. The stomach produces less acid, enzymes work more slowly, and anything unfamiliar or hard to break down can cause discomfort. When collagen or protein powders are stirred directly into a steaming cup of coffee, they may clump, curdle slightly, or not fully dissolve. That might seem minor, but inside the gut, those clumps can lead to bloating, incomplete absorption of nutrients, and in some cases mild inflammation, especially when taken without food to help buffer and guide digestion. And what many seniors don't realize is that some of these powders contain additives or sweeteners that react poorly with heat or create confusion in the digestive system when taken alone. In addition, when we consume supplements like these, without a meal, the body's ability to properly use the protein is diminished. Without accompanying fats or fiber, some of the protein may pass through the system without being fully absorbed, meaning the benefits we hoped for may never arrive, while the burden on the digestive tract remains. For seniors who already struggle with gas, indigestion, or irregularity, this can quietly make those issues worse, not better. Instead, a better approach is to pair these powders with food. Add them to a smoothie that contains fruit and healthy fats. Use them in a bowl of oatmeal or after a light breakfast. Let your body receive them in a way that supports digestion rather than disrupts it. Because at this stage of life, wellness isn't just about what you take. It's about how and when you take it. And the more we align our choices with how the body naturally works, the more strength and energy we'll feel, not from a packet, but from within. Every small choice we make each morning adds up, especially after 70. And while coffee can still be a source of comfort and joy, how we drink it matters more than ever. From avoiding artificial creamers to simply eating something before your first sip, these gentle adjustments can protect your digestion, support your immune system, and reduce hidden cancer risks that many seniors overlook. Your body now asks for more care, not because it's weaker, but because it's wiser. You've carried it through a lifetime of routines. Now it's time to refine them with the wisdom only age can offer. If any part of today's video reminded you of your own habits or sparked a memory, I'd love to hear about it. Feel free to share your story or your favorite way to enjoy coffee healthfully in the comments below. Because when we share, we help each other, not just to live longer, but to age with strength, clarity, and peace of mind.